Guys, generally I don't really like to review fragrances from samples, but you guys have been asking me and asking me and asking me over and over and over again. And since I am going to be going to France very soon, I probably will be by the time this video is shot, I wanted to find out what these fragrances were all about from the house of Matiere Premiere. So I'm going to do first impressions of all of the fragrances, except for the latest, which is French Flower. I don't have a sample of that. I got to sample the 2019 releases at the end of 2019. I won't say how, but I was able to meet with someone and they had all the samples. And they were supposed to launch, in 2020. At that time, I think they were Harrods exclusive in 2019. But one thing led to another, you know, with COVID and everything, they didn't launch here. I think by the end of this year, Matiere Premiere will be launched here in the States, which is what I've been waiting for. But as I said, since I am going to France, I wanted to find out if there's anything for me to pick up while I'm there. And since you guys have been sending me messages, emails, comments, asking me to review, so I'm going to do first impressions of Matiere Premiere for you guys today. So find out about these fragrances coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian. Yes, today we're talking about Matiere Premiere fragrances. Fragrances are all created by Aurelien Guichard. If you guys don't know who he is, he's a perfumer who's created fragrances for many different brands, and now he started his own line, Matiere Premiere. So I guess he or his family owns farms in the south of France where he gets a lot of his ingredients. He's created fragrances for Gucci, Intense Oud, Burberry, Hero, Comme des Garcons, Play Red, lots of Robert Piguet fragrances, loads of them, and also Zadig and Voltaire's This Is Him, along with Nathalie, Lorson, and many others. I just wanted to name a few fragrances that I'm familiar with. But as I said, I don't really like to review samples, but these are kind of fun. Really great samples. Like, look at this. This was sent to me. They reached out to me months ago, and I hadn't really dug into them because, you know, I've been quite busy trying to do videos here for you guys and, you know, work my day job. But now that I'm going to be taking off soon, I thought let's go ahead and dig in. So I don't have French Flower, which is a 2022 launch. This is Tuberose Enfleurage and Tuberose Absolute, along with ginger, Chinese tea leaf, and green pear. Sounds like it would be a great fragrance if you are a tuberose lover. Is it a competitor to Carnal Flower from Frederic Malle? I don't know, I haven't smelled it. But very interesting that they have not only the Tuberose Enfleurage and also the Tuberose Absolute, two different ways of, you know, extracting the tuberose essence from the flower. But along with ginger and Chinese tea leaf and the fruitiness from pear or of pear, sounds like it would be great. It seems like it's going to be fresh, a bit cozy from the tea, so we'll see. I'll have to sample it when I'm over in France, but that one I do not have. So moving on to the first fragrance I'm going to talk to you about is Falcon Leather. So I was saying earlier, I sampled these in 2019 of just the fragrances that were already launched in 2019. And I got to sample them very, very quickly. It was a set like this, I believe, or maybe they weren't. I think I sampled them from larger bottles. They were with someone who's in the industry who had all of them, and I got to smell them, but it's been so long I don't remember how these fragrances smell. But I have not dug into these, so I'm going to dig into it here. So Falcon Leather is a 2019 fragrance launch. Features notes of vegetal leather, birch tar, Finland, saffron, cistus labdanum, Andalusia, and benzoin absolute, Laos. So sounds like it could go smoky, it could go ambery, a little sweet from the benzoin, but they do say vegetal leather. Do I like the idea of vegetal leather? Let's see. I like the fact that they give you a little tiny bottles like this and a little, you know, sprayer. So I'm supposed to open this up and pop that on. This is kind of a cute idea. And I've got my handy dandy, I'd rather wear perfume mug full of strips here. So let's go ahead and spray this Falcon Leather. I think this one gets a lot of love in the community. I do see images of this fragrance pop up over on Instagram. So it is definitely sweet. I'm picking up the benzoin. I'm very sensitive to benzoin. I absolutely love it. There's definitely sweetness here. It's smoky. There's smoke coming through as well. And I like that a lot of times when I see leather fragrances, they'll add a leather accord or note in there, plus they'll add saffron. Definitely picking up saffron in here. It definitely has an ambery touch and some undertones of vegetal stuff. Now this is only off of the strip. I have not worn it, but this smells freaking fantastic for a leather fragrance. So if this is the only thing I sprayed, and this is only, if this is the only fragrance I tested and only thing they had, I would actually buy this one, at least off of the strip. So I would have to test it out on me as well. But off of here, this thing smells amazing. I mean, I have not, it's not like I haven't smelled anything like this, but I've smelled similar styles, similar notes, but definitely not in this direction. So this one's really nice. Falcon leather is definitely a buy for me. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. The next fragrance is Radical Rose, which is here. I will take that out and see how Radical Rose is. Now Radical Rose has notes of rose centifolia, saffron, pepperberries Jamaica, patchouli Indonesia, labdanum absolute Andalusia. So earlier, a couple of weeks ago, I did that video on rose centifolia, grass rose, May rose, rose de May. A lot of you said you gotta have Radical Rose, and you know, I didn't have the fragrance. Here's the sample. We're gonna go ahead and see how it is. Always love a great rose fragrance. Definitely a spicy rose. I also feel like this seems a little chypre-like in style. Patchouli is prominent. And definitely amber is prominent as well. So this one is also great smelling, but in comparison to the leather, this is not one that I would rush out to get. Does that make sense? I mean, the fragrance is great, it smells nice, but I have fragrances like this. That's not to say it's a bad fragrance. I've smelled fragrances like this. So this one is not a rush out to get, but that Falcon leather is really, really great. So the next fragrance is SANTAL AUSTRAL. I guess the Austral stands for Australia. Because they're using Australian sandalwood here. So this one features notes of sandalwood oil Australia, almond milk, iris absolute Tuscany, benzoin absolute Laos, tonka bean absolute Venezuela. So go and put in this little sprayer here. These bottles are really cute. I really love them. Look at that. Does that focus? Come on, focus now. There we go. All right, let's try this one. I have to be honest, I'm a little bored of sandalwood. There was a big hype with sandalwood as a note for a while. I'm kind of getting bored of it personally. This happens to me sometimes. I get bored of notes and then I come back to them. It happened with vetiver, but I'm starting to dig vetiver again. So let's see how this one is. Although this one's a great sandalwood. This smells really, really nice. Almost gourmand. Wow. I like the spice in here, and that almond milk adds creaminess with that benzoin and tonka bean. This is delicious. Absolutely delicious. I could drink this stuff. Don't drink it, please. No, I might like this one more than the Falcon leather. Wow. And here I am saying I'm bored of sandalwood, and this one actually really hits me with a great smell. Dang, that's good. Something in here is just driving me up the wall with this beautiful smell. I don't know if it's the fact that the sandalwood is meshed with the almond milk, or if it's the iris, because iris in here is delicious. I think it's that's what's causing this. Because I've been obsessed with iris lately. I'm really, really digging iris in fragrances. And this one seems like, you know, mostly about the sandalwood with the almond milk and the iris absolute. Really, really, really yummy. SANTAL AUSTRAL. I think it's definitely bottle worthy, but which one am I going to buy when I'm in France? We shall see. So when I was taking down notes for this particular video, I noticed on the Matiere Premiere website, they definitely did a great job with writing about the fragrances and actually also highlighting the focus note, which is kind of cool. Although you can kind of tell from the names of their fragrances what the focus note is, but they went a little technical and gave you the technical name for each note. So let's go ahead and move on to Neroli Orangere. This one right here. These little bottles are so cute. I really love them. So So Neroli Orangere, basically it's the orange blossom, neroli, and of course I really enjoy this particular style of perfumery. It's kind of like your eau de cologne style. And this one features notes of orange blossom Tunisia, neroli oil Lebanon, bergamot oil Italy, ylang ylang oil Comoros, and floral musks. So basically it's a floral bomb. You know, you've got the citrus flowers, you've got the fruit also, the citrus fruit of bergamot, but then you've got ylang ylang oil, which is a little tropical, and then they've thrown in you know, floral musks. Let's see how this is. This brand does have a lot of hype. I can see why. The fragrances are really, really great. So just like the rose, I have so many neroli fragrances. This is not one I would rush out to get, but it smells really, really great. It smells great. It's delicious. Really, really great orange blossom and neroli together with citruses and, you know, tropical kind of, this is drying down really nice too. Oh boy. I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to pick up when I'm over there. This smells divine. I can only imagine how this is going to smell, you know, in the heat. I might have to take this sample pack with me because these are really great fragrances to travel with. I'm gonna have to throw these in. These are all really, really great, and it'll be easy for me to pick from when I'm over there. I guess the next one is Cologne CEDRAT. CEDRAT standing for citrus, I believe. Right? Yeah, citrus. Always think CEDRAT is cedar, but it's not. So Cologne CEDRAT is citron oil Italy, black pepper oil Madagascar, pink pepper oil Argentina, bergamot oil Italy, mate absolute Paraguay. So let's go ahead and see how this one is. I guess the 3 remaining fragrances that are loose didn't fit in the kit because that kit is so much fun. If everything was in there, that would be an amazing little kit to travel with. And you go, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I feel like neroli today. I feel like leather tonight. I feel like rose this morning, kind of a thing, you know? That could be really, really fun. All right, let's try Cologne CEDRAT. This is probably going to be the freshest of all of them. I didn't put down the dates of these fragrances. You can look in the info box and find out when these were launched. This one's the most boring to me. And you know what? I have to be honest. I'm not the biggest fan of mate in a fragrance, but it's very fresh. It's a little grassy. That mate note comes off grassy tea-like. And definitely spicy. Has spices. But this one's just really not doing it for me. Out of every single one I've smelled, this kind of a fragrance can be some of the most boring because it's mostly citruses with light dabs of spices. But out of all of them, the Cologne CEDRAT is pretty subdued as well and doesn't have a lot of smell fragrance. So it's not a bad fragrance. This one's just not jumping out at me, unfortunately. So this one I will put aside. I mean, I might take them all with me. We'll see. The next fragrance is ENCENS SUAVE. This one. Hey, focuses. All right, ENCENS SUAVE is incense, labdanum, benzoin, coffee, and vanilla. I did not write down on their website. They had all the places the notes or ingredients came from. I didn't write down for this particular fragrance, unfortunately. I forgot. But coffee and incense sounds very, very interesting. This is a gourmand incense. Let's see. Oh boy, this is another good one. This is really good. This is with the coffee and the vanilla. This is kind of reminding me of something like Vanagloria from Laboratorio Olfativo that Dominique Ropion created. It's a kind of a gourmand incense. Oh boy, this is delicious. God, I'm gonna have a hard time picking out a fragrance from this house. This is really, really nice, guys. Really, wow. I want this one too. And I always say I have a hard time wearing incense because incense is not, okay, I want to wear a fragrance, I'm going to put on incense, kind of a fragrance note. It's more about church for me because I grew up in Christian Orthodox church and I like that smell at church, but do I also want to wear it every day? But since this has the gourmand touches, this is really, really delicious. So it's incense, but it's got this kind of ambery, resinous, sweet gourmand base. Really nice. Really, really nice. Encens Suave is really nice. Alright, next fragrance, it's all about Parisian musk. There we go. Who is a fan of this house? Put a comment down so I can find out. I know there's a lot of people out there, and again, this brand is hyped on Instagram, everybody's talking about it, but they have not started selling here yet. From what I heard, they are going to be selling here in the States at the end of the year, I think in the fall. And I don't know which distributor is going to take the brand. I have not heard. I have heard they have a distributor. It has not been publicized yet, but we shall see. We shall see. But this is the only fragrance I remember smelling when I sampled them in 2019 at the end. And this is one I remember stood out because it has the note of ambrette. It has ambrette, cedar, ambroxolide, ambroxan, musk, and woods. And you know me, I love ambrette and musky fragrances. So let's see. Oh yes. This is very vegetal. Vegetal, lightly fruity, a little medicinal. Wow, there's also some green touches in there. I feel like there's carrot seed note in here. A little well, ambrette is already powdery. I feel like there's carrot seed or iris in here as well, but this is nice. Really, really nice. I think this will actually open up better on my skin. It's not, well, wait. Is there sandalwood here? I feel like there's sandalwood, iris, or a carrot seed as well. It's really good. Really, really good. This is really, really good. Yeah, this one's great, guys. Parisian musk is really, really great. I can't wait to wear that one. I'm gonna take this kit with me on the trip. All right, next, Bois d'Ébène. Okay, Bois d'Ébène. Let's see how that is. Bois d'Ébène features notes of gaiac wood, patchouli, cypriol, cabruva, and amber. So, ebony wood, is that what it translates to? This is another good one. Although, this one is a little subdued, and it reminds me of old church furniture without the incense. This is good. This is actually a little subdued, and it's not jumping out at me as much as the incense and the leather, and also the sandalwood. The sandalwood is great. But this is really, really great. This one seems a little subdued, almost, not quite as subdued as the Cologne CEDRAT. But it's opening up though. Still, as a smell, I think it's great. It reminds me of old antique furniture. That's the thing about this one that I liked, or I like. It's quite nice, really, really nice. All right, so there's one more fragrance left. It's Oud 7. This is a Harrods exclusive, and I don't know if it's permanently exclusive or if it will get out of being exclusive, but I'm going to sample it for you guys as well. There we go. And then the only one I did not sample is the flat floral one. French flower, is that what it's called? Let's see. Yeah, French flower is the one I will not be able to report on, but you know what I'll do is on my travels I'll report on it when I get to sample it when I'm in Paris. So let's try Oud 7. And again, I don't know if this will be permanently exclusive to Harrods or not, but this smells animalic right off the bat. This has notes of oud, vetiver, violet leaves. Oh boy. I initially smelled something funky, like animalic something, but wow, I dig this one too. The initial blast was a little off-putting with the animalic notes, but it's developing into something really, really nice. I'm assuming this is also going to be a lot more animalic on me because skin usually opens up the animalic notes. I think the animalic notes are coming from the oud note here. It must be an animalic type of oud. I like this one too, just like the Bois d'Ébène. This one I really like, but I wouldn't rush out to get this one either. I think for me the standout ones were the leather, the Falcon leather, Encens Suave, and then SANTAL Austral. Those were my three favorites from the bunch. I mean, everything smelled really, really great, except for Cologne CEDRAT, which was very, very subdued for me. But for me, I would rush out to get those three first. And then the fourth one would be Parisian musk. I really dig the Parisian musk as well. Now I'm going to test these out on my trip. I'm going to start wearing them on the trip, and then hopefully I'll pick up one or two, maybe three, we'll see. But let me know your thoughts on these fragrances. Have you sampled them? Are you a fan of this line? Are you waiting for them to come to the States? As I said, I heard that they are coming in the fall, somewhere around September, October. I also heard from the grapevine they did get a distributor, and they will be, you know, rolling out their fragrances across the USA and, you know, taking their fragrances into different stores. But I'm excited that these are really, really great. I didn't know much about the perfumer Aurelien Guichard prior to this brand, but I did see his name come up. But I guess this brand kind of put him on the map. And then Hero was launched last year from Burberry, and he did that fragrance. Although I don't think of anything very special with Hero. It's a designer fragrance, but he's really letting his creativity run wild with this collection from Matiere Premiere. And I think he's done some great work with these fragrances. I really dig them. They're very minimalistic design work and things like that. Some of you don't like that kind of stuff. Like you guys were complaining about Byredo recently and how boring their packaging and their bottles are. These are kind of similar. Do you feel the same way about these? Let me know. Put a comment down. Either way, thanks so much for watching today's video. I know you guys have been waiting for me to report on these fragrances. Finally, I have. But let me know if you've already sampled these fragrances and which are your favorite fragrances. Put a comment down so I can find out. Other than that, guys, thanks so much for watching today. If you have any questions or comments, please do list below. Let me know if there's anything I should check out while I'm in France. Please put a comment down if there's anything there. And also, one last thing, a lot of you were asking me to stop by your city or whatever. I'm only visiting France and Italy, so I'm not going to be going to Germany or Greece or England or, you know, Belgium or wherever, Netherlands or, you know, Czech Republic or whatever. So on this trip it's just France and Italy, but maybe in the future I'll come back and go to some of your countries as well. But either way, thanks so much for watching today. If you have any questions or comments, as I said, please list below. Please like this video, please share it, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.